ahead of him. Flags fly everywhere. This place hates it. And it's going to be Arabian football.
Window Warrior Project helped me find the strength to go further than I ever thought possible.
I was able to come out of my shell and really connect with others.
So I can feel like part of a team, part of the community again.
It's possible to live better.
It's possible to have a voice and to be heard.
To feel understood.
To find peace.
Because I've experienced firsthand that anything is possible.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
On all of the 91.7 WEEM social media pages, we post great content almost every day. So regardless of where you're seeing us now, you should make sure you can see us on any platform. We post awesome content like skits and funny videos, updates on our sports teams and their games, updates on stuff happening around the campus and community, and much more. We're 91.7 WEEM on all our socials, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. So don't be afraid to give us a follow.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you back to the Raven Sports Network pregame show. And I'm Liam Davis, and I'm joined here with the head varsity football coach, Coach Richmond. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
So I just want to say quick congratulations to you. This, if we have our math correct, 100th game here at Pendleton Heights.
Oh.
How do you feel about it?
I love this place. I mean, I think, being around me, I mean, we got nobody's got it better than us, I stole that from Michigan and Coach Harbaugh, and I use it with my own two boys at home. I mean, no matter what, nobody's got it better than us. I mean, you've heard me say in weight training class, like, whether it's the Madison County air or the water we're drinking, this place is special. So we're all we got, and I'm really proud to be here.
And starting out the season, you guys are 2-0. First week of conference play. What are the feelings going into this week?
Feeling is trapped, to be honest. So that's been my message to the team. Everybody's talking about homecoming. Everybody's talking about new pal. Those are weeks 4 and 5. We got to have some maturity. We talked a lot about competitive excellence last night, and everything we do, we want to do at the best of our ability. That's what we owe one another, no matter who we're playing. So this week, I think New Pal C. I'm talking about those guys. I think Newcastle is a really good team. I think their coach is a good ball coach. I've said that for years. They're going to be prepared. I think they're tough. They know where the weight room is. You can see that. So they're a respected opponent from our place. But at the same time, everything around us, including Indy Star and others, touting us and patting us on the back. I've told the kids all week it's rat poison, so don't eat it and don't believe it. Stay focused on what's right in front of you, and so that's how I'm feeling. That's where our message has been, and hopefully we're as sharp tonight as we've been recently in practice.
Yeah, and coming off a huge win against Garen Catholic, 34-0.
Yeah,
and a superstar performance from Talon Foster and Brant Gray.
Yeah,
how do you feel about this offense?
Confident. Hope they're confident. I'm confident in the defense. I mean, anybody that goes into Garen and does what we did, you should feel good about your work. But everybody notices those things now. We're not sneaking up on anybody, and so that's where now, we're not a surprise. We're hunted a little bit, if that makes sense. So that's that's the message I'm trying to convey to the guys. And the better you play, the more it gets like that, and the more people root against you and want to beat you and so on and so forth. So that's a very good feeling as a competitor, in my opinion. So I was really proud of our just our community in general to go over there. They had a great showing, and I thought we matched it and then some. Just the back and forth between the student sections and the you knew it was going to be a good game from the warm-up, you had each team going back at each other in a respectful and passionate way, and I thought we competed really well. So now we got to do it again. We got to keep replicating it.
Yeah, and Brent Gray, he went 8 for 9 with 92 yards and a touchdown, and Talon Foster, 8 carries, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then also standout performer Joel Weaver with 20 carries, 127 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this young quarterback, running back, and receiving core?
You see what they're doing, and they're not a lot of experience. I mean, Talon has it from last year. He's a senior, and he's been a spark in all 3 phases for us, and a leader. But Joel, he got on the field last year, did a good job punting, and he's doing a great job of that this year too. But for his second start, that's pretty consistent, and for Brant, it's the same thing. He just makes it look easy, and I think his poise and just calm, even though he's super competitive, is what's really, really impressive so far. A lot of maturity from him.
And going to the defensive side, you guys held Guerin Catholic's quarterback Quentin Klee to just 8 for 21 for 51 yards and an interception. And he was coming off a 300-yard passing game. How do you feel about this defense right now?
Just confident. We got to continue to improve. There are no little things. That's what we talked a lot about this week. Every position, including my own as the head coach, needed to improve this week. And those are things that, it's not glaring things to the naked eye. But we are far from reaching our potential. And the thing that I like, though, is, each position is kind of holding each other accountable. And there's, it's player-led in a lot of ways. So the seniors and the leaders on this team are doing a good job of echoing and emphasizing things and not getting down on themselves. They're being coachable, and I think that's something good or bad. You got to play the next play. You got to play the next opponent, and you got to continue to improve because the goals are, in week 12 ultimately, and week 10, 11, and 12 and beyond. So to reach those, we gotta keep getting better.
And transferring over to Newcastle, their offense, they love to throw the ball. Carson Bell's 27 for 57 with 384 yards and 3 touchdowns on the year. Are we going to see like a little bit of a defensive game plan switch to try to stop the pass?
No, we just have to do what we do. I mean, last week was, like you pointed out with Klee. I mean, he's a pretty talented kid with all sorts of weapons. Newcastle's no different. Their running games are similar too. They're going to run inside and outside, and the line of scrimmage will continue to be the key of our success. If our guys up front on both sides of the ball can establish control, then good things will come. That clears everything up. As you move back, whether it be the running backs in Brant or whether it's the linebackers, on defense. And I think the defense is playing cohesive football. I think the offense is playing cohesive football. And so we've got to continue to do that and take what they give us. And at the same time, we got to stop Newcastle's best plays. I think in the first 2 games, we've done a good job of that. We've taken away what they do really well, and they've had to go to maybe their B menu stuff. And anytime you can do that, that's a good thing.
Well, unfortunately, that will be all the time that we have for you, Coach. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for those really good answers. When you guys come back, you will have some Pendleton Knights football here on 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
was the line of scrimmage will continue to be the key to our success. That was the case against Garin Catholic last week. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They did whatever they want. They could run the ball. They could pass it and hold it off enough time for Brant Gray to get it out. They control the line of scrimmage. They win a football game. And I think that could be the case through the 10 games this season. If they can win the line of scrimmage, I think there's a really good chance they can win this game. So that's the key tonight. Your O-line's at 100%. There's no reason why you can't.
Yeah, really good play from them last week. And, with them up there putting up good play, you put up 34 points, shut out Garin Catholic. So just continue to be consistent with good O-line play and win the line of scrimmage.
With that, Pendleton Heights set to return the opening kickoff here from John Broughton Field. Owen Barrett, the guy to kick it away. He's had 3 kickoffs so far this season. 3 of them have been touchbacks. That's a 33.3%. He's a 4-year varsity starter. Sends this one way deep to the 5-yard line. Hauled in by an Arabian. Cutting upfield, it's wide Elijah. He's got some space. Heading outside the numbers. Going to be pushed out of bounds by multiple defenders. What a return from wide Elijah to the 5 to the 40. That's 35 yards for the junior safety.
That was a deep kick there from Owen Barrett down to the 5-yard line. Wide Elijah, though, able to find some space on the left side. Took it all the way up near the 40. That's good vision by Elijah.
Now the Arabian offense set to take over on the 41-yard line is where they'll officially mark the start. So a 36-yard return. What a way to get going. They set the tone early in that Week 1 game against Lebanon and really haven't slowed down since. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Brant Gray, the quarterback, going to hand it off up the middle to his running back, Weaver. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Had no room to move. It's going to be 2nd and long.
Newcastle's not going to want Weaver to get hot. He had 20 carries last week for 127 yards and a touchdown. He can pick up yardage in big chunks, so they're going to try and contain him, and definitely one of the offensive players they're looking at.
2nd and 8, 11:25 remaining here in the first quarter. Weaver fumbled on, I believe, the 3rd play of the game against Garin Catholic, and after that, he had no troubles and went for over 100 yards and a touchdown. We'll see how he fares early here. This one, they're going to hand off up the middle. Looks like Weaver again. And another short gain here. This one more than the first. We're looking about 3rd and 5. An early test here for the Arabian offense. Usually they've either had total flop, fumble, turnover on their first drive, or they've had a lot of success and they break away a big runner catch. I'm looking for Cooper Sims, Byron Fours on an out route here outside the numbers.
Yeah, they may look for the deep route, or you could watch for Gray using his legs on this one because he's dangerous as a deep threat.
Shotgun, Gray steps back to pass. Rolling out right, pocket collapsing, almost intercepted in the hands of Darren Reynolds. Tipped it away. Smart play by the senior linebacker. That one a risky ball. Not quite where he wanted it. Now, looks like Pendleton Heights will set to punt this one away. They failed the early test, and the Newcastle defense holds strong early.
Yeah, Cooper Sims as his intended receiver on the out route. Just good play by the defender right there, able to swat it down.
Yeah, that was an excellent play by the defender. I don't think Brant Gray put that ball where he wanted it to. Here's Joel Weaver, set to kick this one away. No catch here from Newcastle as this one will roll out of bounds. A nice kick for Joel Weaver. He's placed 3 in the 20. Make that 4 now. This one will be placed on the 13-yard line, his 2nd on the 13 this season, as the Newcastle offense takes over. 10:20 to go in the first quarter.
Newcastle quarterback Carson Bell coming onto the field. He was 9 for 19 last game, 47% completion percentage. Threw a touchdown and an interception, along with a nice 33-yard touchdown pass to his receiver last week.
He's a pocket passer. He stands tall in the pocket, 6 foot 155. He looks shorter on the field than you would expect. I saw him for the first time. This is now my 3rd Carson Bell game, and I said I don't know how he sees over his O-line, but he commanded the offense that game. And he's good in the pocket. You got to force him out of it if you want him to make mistakes. So we'll see what the Arabians do. Shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. It'll be a handoff up the middle. Luke Sherrill. Not going to get far, maybe 2 yards at most.
Arabian defense is going to need to look out for Luke Sherrill the whole game. Last week, he only had the ball 7 for 7 carries, but he got 110 yards out of it for an average of 15.7 yards a carry. So watch him, make sure he doesn't get hot and start gaining yards in big chunks.
I do think it is important to mention they played 3A, Jay County. There's levels to high school football. Mm-hmm. Jay County's a tough team, but they were able to shut him out. Now here's a quick pass from Carson Bell to his receiver, brought to the ground quickly. A short curl route, going to be hauled in to Tylen. Scratch that. Quickly to his receiver, Neil McMartin. Sorry about that. They have a very spread out wide receiver group, and that makes it difficult to see who it is. Could be 8 different guys, depends on the personnel they put in there. This one looks like pistol formation. They'll fake the handoff to Sherrill, give it to Suppinger. Suppinger laying his shoulder down, plowing for a first down. He'll get it here. Another quick pass, hauled in by the backup running back, who levels his shoulder for a few extra yards, moves the chains for the Trojan offense.
Newcastle offense getting going, obviously wanting to set the tone early against a team like Pendleton Heights, whose defense has been really good the past 2 weeks.
They haven't let up a score in the first 2 quarters, and, you hope I don't jinx that now. As it'll be pistol formation again, they'll hand it off up the middle. Luke Sherrill yet again, ground and pound. We'll get him about 3. We're looking at 2nd and 7. 8:50 to go here in the first quarter, still scoreless. They'll call it 2nd and 6. The offense sticking to runs up the gut and short passes, midfield passes, I should say. They'll fake the handoff to Sherrill, pop this one to his receiver, caught, hauled in, first down, chains move. These short passes are lethal for Pendleton Heights. Trojans are chewing up this field fast.
Good read there by Bell, the Newcastle quarterback, able to make the read, not hand it off, and throw it for a short gain. If they can keep on picking up 5-6 yards a pass, this Arabian defense might be in trouble.
The Arabian pass rush is serious. They need to figure out how to get it out quick, because that's what Carson Bell is doing. He's lobbing it or handing it off and having no struggles. Now it's going to be a pre-snap penalty. We'll see what the call is. Trojans moving back. Likely on the offense. That'll push him back 5. Or it will be a false start on the offense. This is where Pendleton Heights has kind of been a level above their opponents. They're really smart. They're really... can't think of the word right now, but they're just poised. They're confident, and they don't make small mistakes like that. A penalty like this might kill your drive. I know it's first down, but it's 1st and 15 now for this Trojan offense. Pistol formation. Trips to the left, one receiver to the right. It's Sherrill yet again, up the gut. 6-yard gain at most. It'll set up 2nd and long. See, now, you would have a short gain, 2nd down, but it's still 2nd and long. But that's a good run nonetheless. 6 yards, who's going to complain?
Yeah, of course. He picks up yardage in big chunks like we mentioned, and, just do that a couple more times. And, the 2nd down could still become very third manageable for this Newcastle offense.
Pistol formation. Trips to the right, one receiver to the left. They'll hammer the interior yet again. Around the edge, he's taking it outside. Brought down quickly by the Arabian linebackers. Another short gain. I'll give them 6. Scratch that 5. 3rd and 4 now. Do you go straight back to Sherrill? Who do you go to here?
Yeah, Sherrill's been picking up in big chunks. He just had 2 straight plays right there for good yardage, and right now here on 3rd and 5, this could be a good opportunity to either hand it off or make a read option.
Pistol formation, trips to the left, one receiver to the right. Steps back to pass, quick throw. Intended for Darren Reynolds. Not where he wanted it to, felt the pressure, and even though he got it out early, incomplete, sets down a 4th and short. Looks like the Trojans are going to go for it. I don't blame them here. They had a nice drive going. A penalty really got them off kilter. Biggest play of the game so far. Still scoreless, 6:43 to go here. 4th and 5 for the Newcastle Trojans. Darren Reynolds goes way off sides. That one wasn't even close. It's going to push him back 5. Now it's a 4th and even long. You can't really go for this. It looks like the offense will come off. We'll see what. Nope. Offense will stay on. 4th and 9 here. They don't punt much. I'll give them that. 2 punts on the year in now 3 games. Tylen Thrine is the punter who, like we mentioned, a Swiss Army knife wide receiver. We're looking at shotgun formation. Carson Bell will go way back. Set to punt this one away now. Some trickery here as this one will go out of bounds at around the 22-yard line as the Arabian offense set to take over. Weird moves there.
Yeah, I mean, going back to that 3rd and about 5, Mr. Receiver just had to get out early. Receiver didn't have enough time to see it coming. And then, like you said, that penalty definitely set him back. And then after the second one, you'd expect a punt, but, keep the offense out there, then punt it with Bell. I mean, it was just a weird set of plays going on there.
Bell never kicked a punt in his high school career, I believe. Tylen Thrine, usually their guy. Now, Pendleton Heights leading the charge on defense so far. They hand this one off to Colton Johnson, who angle it outside, pick up a 5-6 yard gain. We're looking at 2nd and about 5 for this offense. Joel Weaver wasn't working early, couldn't get the first down. They go to a guy like Colton Johnson, who hammers good yards to start.
Able to put a shoulder down into the defender. That's what you need to get those extra yards. That's really what could win this game.
Still scoreless, 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 2nd and 4. Arabians with a split backfield, 1 receiver to each side. Timeout. Called by Newcastle Trojans. We are going to take a quick break. Still scoreless here. 6 minutes and 5 seconds left to play. Kind of an unusual start to this game, I might say. We are going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you back here on the Arabian Sports Network. Still scoreless here. 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Arabians on offense on their own 31-yard line. It's 2nd and 4. Split backfield. They'll fake the handoff. Trickery in the mesh spot. They look to pitch it to Weaver last second. And a big stop by the Trojan defense. Looks like Malachi Hernandez, the senior, 20 tackles already on the season. And he gets a big sack here.
Looked like he was reading the handoff to Colton Johnson and then also had the triple option with the toss to Weaver. Newcastle defender got back there really quick and took down Gray for a loss of yards.
Yeah, he read it like a book. It was perfect. Looked to see where he was going to pitch it to, and Brant Gray held on it for just a second too long and reaped the benefits of that one. And now Byron Vors, an open field pass a little too high, gets a shoulder driven him right into the ground. Another tough hit there for Byron Vors. Pass off kilter is going to set up 4th and long. This Arabian offense just isn't clicking tonight.
Yeah, no, they had a slow first drive. I believe they went 3 and out, and then that Newcastle offense was looking sharp, and then penalty set them back. So we'll see if Brant Gray can get this offense moving and get a score and set the tone.
I can't assume the offense will stay out here. I mean, it's 4th and 7 currently, and they're not known for taking big risks like that. We'll wait to see what they do. We are going to take a quick break. The score here still 0-0, 5 minutes, 23 left to play. Arabians in a tough 4th and 7. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you back here to John Broughton Field. Still scoreless here. Nobody's taken charge of this game yet. Pendleton back to punt, 4th and 7. Weaver, 6 punts this year, 4 in the 20, 2 on the 13, 1 on the 9-yard line, and 1 on the 19. This one way deep. Lands on the 14. Piling back. They'll get it to about the 35-yard line. A nice punt by Weaver. He was way deep in his own territory, but Trojan offense will start on the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Weaver had a lot of room to work with there. Like you said, he was back deep in his own territory, able to get good yardage out of what he had.
Now for the Trojan offense, they were moving before. They had gotten into Arabian territory, and a penalty is really what set them back and ended the drive for them. They got to avoid that here. Small mistakes like that cost you a football game. You know, you wanted to be up as early as possible on this Arabian team. If you're Kyle York and the Trojans, we'll see what they initially come out in. Only handoffs and short passes last time. Looks like pistol formation, trips to the left, one receiver to the right. 5:11 left to go here in the first quarter. It'll be a handoff up the middle. Sherrill yet again finds a hole, plows through a defender or two. 6-yard pickup, 2nd and 4.
Sherrill again picking up yardage in big chunks. He already had 2 carries on that last drive for about 4 or 5 yards, and that penalty really set him back. But without that penalty, you know, he can get this offense moving.
This is a big offensive line they're working behind. 6'1", 250, 6'3", 290, 6'1", 260. You can see why Sherrill's having so much success, and he himself is 6'3", 205, as they'll pound the rock inside yet again. Sherrill ran into a brick wall there, maybe 1 yard at most. Call it 3rd and about 3 now. Kudos to the Arabian D-line. You hear Turner Seal's name called. You know, you gotta stand stiff as a board there and can't let them get a yard on you. We said it before. If the Arabians can win the line of scrimmage, offense and defense, they can win this game. So far, it's not been the case, but on a play like that, they were able to stop them. 3rd and 3. Trojans on offense. Pistol formation. The snap is high. Carson Bell's got a fall on it. And small mistakes are costing the Trojans it early. First it was a penalty and now a high snap. They had a few in that Jay County game. But this one here, that'll kill a play.
Good job by Bell, though, able to keep his eye on the ball and recover. That could have been disastrous for them if the Arabians were to get it at the 35, but nonetheless, it's 4th and very long.
They took a 3rd and manageable and turned it into a 4th and 15. They have no choice but to punt it. Coming out not in a punt set as Bell will step back. Send this one away. I guess they're going away from the typical Tylen Thrine punt. So 3 and out. Sends the Arabian offense back on the field. You told me to pick 10 different ways this game would go. I wouldn't have picked it like this. A defensive battle through 9 minutes. 3:16 to go here in the first. Both of these offenses have struggled in their own separate ways.
Yeah. I mean, you have the small mistake from Newcastle, the penalty, the high snap. The Arabian offense just unable to, find their tone. So we'll see if they can find it on this drive.
Shotgun formation, trips to the right. One receiver to the left. Gray talking to his quarterback coach. First and 10. They'll flip it to Cooper Sims. Trying to work upfield. He's great after the catch. Bounces it outside. The numbers will leap to the 50. About an 8-yard grab for Cooper Sims and company. Finally something to get this Arabian offense going. 2nd and 2 now.
Yeah, they needed that too. Nice screen pass over there to Sims, making it 2nd and short. This is a chance to get a first down, get this offense moving like they haven't been able to do this game so far.
Now, need a short gain for the first down. This is as close as they've been to a first down today. Shotgun formation. One receiver to the right, one to the left. It'll be a handoff up the middle. Talon Foster gets some free space. Breaks off a big one. 1st and 10. The Arabian offense moves the chains. They have struggled with the pass today. something to mention in that sectional game, the Arabians only threw 10 passes, connected 4 of them, their second worst completion percentage all year. And that's held through this game as they'll pound the rock yet again up the middle. Talon Foster, short gain, will set up second and long.
Brought down by 34, Luke Sherrill. Gain of 2 on the play, brings up second down and 8.
Yeah, this Ravens pass offense, if they can get it going, they can be. I mean, you've seen it from Brant Gray, was 8 for 9 last week against Gearin Catholic. I mean, he's looked good so far. If he can get going, he can be lethal down the field.
It's just a matter if he can get going. They might just have to lean into the rushing game, which last week I wouldn't say was a problem, but now they're starting to get going as they'll pound the rock inside. Joel Weaver, he'll pick up a first down. Now, finally, I believe their third or fourth drive of the night, the Arabian offense looks a little more competent. Looks like 2-0 and, a scary team heading into conference play.
Yeah, I mean, last week, offense looked solid, obviously. 34 points on the board. Big thanks to their O-line for that. It looks like they're starting to find their rhythm right now if they can keep this and, able to set the tone early here. Still, in the first quarter, have a chance to set a tone.
Pendletonites won 9 straight matchups against the Trojans. We're looking at shotgun formation, play wave dead. I think timeout is going to be called. We will take a short break. 1st and 10. Arabian starting to drive here as the first quarter has a minute left to go. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Now back to Pendleton football on Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you here to the Arabian Sports Network. A minute left to go in the first quarter, still scoreless. Arabians on offense in Trojan territory. Shotgun formation, trips to the right. No receivers on the left side. Brant Gray. Play action, play over the middle to Cooper Sims. Wide open, frees himself a lane for a touchdown. Arabians draw first blood in conference play. It's Cooper Sims on a crosser for 6.
Sims had the whole middle of the field. There are no DBs. Caught it, had open space all the way to the right. No Trojan defender in sight, and he took it all the way.
In busted coverage, Cooper Sims gets his 5th reception of the season. And now here's Dylan Johns, 2 for 3 on extra points this season to make it 7. It stays true, and the Arabians lead 7-0 here with a minute left to go. What changed for this Arabian offense? Connor, I have no clue.
Yeah, no, looks like they just were able to find their rhythm. I mean, slow start, first 2 drives, had a 3 and out, I'm pretty sure. Started to pound the rock with the running game, and now starting to get their passing game going. It's starting to look like the 2-0 offense that we've seen the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe it takes a leader like Cooper Sims to really break this seal and, get the wheels moving. Once everything's hot and moving, you're going to have success for the rest of the game. It's a matter of keeping your foot on the gas pedal. Finally, they get a little bit of breathing room. You give it an inch, they take a mile, and that's what the Arabians did. Cooper Sims on a crosser. Now 7-0 here as the Arabians lead. Newcastle's got to make an adjustment. They look good on offense. Just small things have taken away. Penalties, a bad snap, and there's 2 drives wiped away. Defensively, they look solid through 10 minutes of this quarter. The final 2, not so much. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the small mistakes definitely wiped away the potential for setting the tone early, but due to those mistakes now, Pendleton is able to draw first blood, and they're setting the tone right now.
Set to kick it away, Dylan John. Dylan John, senior soccer player. Obviously, wasn't able to play last week. 3 for 4 on extra points on the air. Kicks this one way off. The good thing about having a soccer player at your helm is he's got a leg. He sends this one to the 5-yard line, and it'll be hauled in. He touches it, toe taps it out. Darren Reynolds, a little bit of a head scratcher play there. I'm sure Kyle York not too happy about that one. Let it go out of bounds. He holds on. Now Carson Bentley offense will have it on the 6-yard line.
Yeah, not really sure what he was thinking. I mean, like you said, just let that go out of bounds and take the yardage. But now they're pinned pretty deep in their own territory.
The Arabians have already earned a safety on the season. Could they get another? That came in week 1 in Lebanon. They haven't encountered a special teams play like that this season, I'll tell you that. That's a head scratcher by Darren Reynolds. You can't justify that play. Pistol formation. Sherrill up the gut. Tackled by the ankles. Going to get about 2 yards at most. I think they'll give him 1. Arabians lead 7-0, 55 seconds and counting left in the first quarter.
Seems like they'll just keep on pounding the rock with Luke Sherrill, and as they should. He's had quite a few chunk plays for about 4 yards, so they'll keep on handing it to him.
And another timeout's going to be called. This one by the Arabians. Take their second of 3 of the half. I feel like it's pretty typical of Coach Richmond to take timeouts in weird spots. I questioned him early my first year broadcasting and watching Arabian football because it's like, okay, what's the thought process? Maybe he didn't like what he see, wanted to change the personnel. But we've seen 2 pretty early here. In this first quarter, you only get 3 a half. I'm not sure the thought process. But evidently he didn't like what he saw with 54 to go here in this first quarter. He's only got 1 left to work with.
Yeah, he has the Newcastle offense still pinned near the 10-yard line. He might be maybe trying to make something work with his defense here, get a good play here, and possibly even a safety.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity. Maybe they can capitalize on it for Newcastle. You got to think they're going to pound it to Luke Sherrill yet again. He's the biggest back you have, 6'3", 205. Why not give it with him up the gut? It stayed true pretty much all of this game so far. They're going to pound the rock yet again in the interior. Rumbling forward. Did he get the first down? He'll be close. Looks like they'll give him it. Moving the chains. Took it from about the 5-yard line where the drive started now. About the 17 almost.
Yeah, it looked like he, even after first contact with the defender, he was able to keep it going, had a few defenders around him, and just able to keep on pounding.
7-0, 28 seconds and counting. Hand off to Sherrill yet again. First time worked for him. This time it won't. Ran into a wall. Ryland Kiesling credited to the tackle.
If this Raven defense can start to shut down Luke Sherrill, that would be a big blow to this Newcastle offense, as he's been, playing possibly the biggest role so far.
And that one will wind out the first quarter. The score 7-0 here. Arabians and Cooper Sims score the only points in the first quarter. We'll see what happens in the second. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Now back to Pendleton Heights football on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you back here. 7-0 the score. First play in the second quarter. 12 back on the scoreboard. It's pistol formation for the Trojan offense. Down by 7. Two receivers on each side. Carson Bell fakes the handoff. Will throw it to his receiver. Incomplete for Christian St. John. In his hands, just wasn't able to clamp it down. Just like that, it's 3rd and long for this team. They've tried the checkdowns all day. Kind of hurts when there's a small drop like that. Those small plays you got to fix. If you can get those down, you're going to look good. Christian St. John had excellent yards after the catch last year, but just not able to haul this one in, and now you're looking at 3rd and long. 11:57 and counting. Shotgun formation. Bell looks to throw. Pocket collapse. He's going to have to roll out left. Mauled to the ground by the Arabian defense. And there's a fumble. Arabians say they got it. Aiden Forsha, the senior linebacker, credited. Waiting to see the call. Newcastle will keep it here. The Arabian sideline initially thought they had it, and so did the crowd. But nonetheless, even if you don't get the fumble, it's 4th and long.
Amazing play there by Forsha. Shot out of a cannon, came flying in. Carson Bell had no time to react, rolling out to his left, and just had to take the sack, had no time to react to him.
Absolutely blindsided. It looked like Forsha was jogging and then instantly said, all right, I'm going to sprint in your face. Now, Tylen Thrine back to punt it. We've seen 2 Carson Bell punts, and he's never punted his whole career.
Yeah, definitely interesting choices from Newcastle having Bell punt both those 2 first drives.
They'd only punted twice coming into today, and a high snap on the punt. This one's going to go in the end zone. The Arabians recover it. It's going to be a touchdown. What a weird play of events. High snap, fumbled in the end zone. Thrine touches it. The Arabians get it, so it's a sack. Not a sack. What? It's technically a touchdown. It's just a special teams miscue that turned into an Arabian touchdown.
It was looking like he was gonna, just falling up for a safety. Newcastle's punter looked like he was right there with it. Thrine was right there, and then couldn't see who it was that fell on it, but he fell on it before he went out the back of the end zone. That's gonna be a touchdown.
That's a heads-up play by the Arabians. This is a objectively smarter coached team. It's small things like that. You turn 2 points into 6 or potentially 7 here with Dylan Johns looking to put this one through the uprights with the extra point. And just like that, he does. We are going to take a short break. We'll break this down when we come back. Absolute crazy stuff happening from John Broughton Field. Score 14-0. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
WEEM.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you back here on the Arabian Sports Network. It's 14-zip. Arabians lead with 10:48 to go in the second quarter. It's punt time for the Trojans. They're backed up in their own end zone. High snap, second of the game. That's been a bad snap. Thrine has the choice to fall on it. I guess opts not to. It looked like he could have fallen on it for the safety. Nonetheless, it looked like Ryland Kiesling to me. I didn't see who officially fell on it. They fall on it. It's in their own end zone. That's a touchdown, Arabians. I don't think Thrine and Newcastle knew that. Just a small error that's now cost them 7 points.
Yeah, just can't keep making those small mistakes all the time. They got to fix those up.
Now Darren Reynolds taking it upfield on the kickoff. Absolutely level to the ground. They'll bring it about to the 22-yard line, I think they'll call it. Well, they'll say 23. 14-zip. Offense and defense, this game has been very close. I think it's very small miscues is the only reason Pendleton Heights is up 14-0 here. This is a Newcastle team that has all the pieces. They just haven't been able to have the chemistry and put it all together is what I see from 2 quarters of football.
Yeah, it's just the small details when it comes to not making those mistakes.
1 quarter, 2 minutes, I should say. Handoff up the middle. Sherrill yet again pulled to the ground. I saw Michael Emish grab the shoulders right there. I mean, looked like Sherrill was, barreling, rolling downhill. Was going to have a nice run for himself and instantly just gets turned and flipped.
Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, it looked like he was coming in hot out of there. Michael Emish able to slow him down. That makes it easy for more Ravens to come in and take him down for only a short gain.
Now 2nd and 7, 14-0. Pendleton Heights leads. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Shotgun formation. They fake the snap. A quick strike to his receiver, St. John. Missed his last one. He'll be pretty close to the first down. I think they'll say he's 1 yard shy. So a 3rd and inches. We'll see who they go to. You got to think it's Sherrill. Good bounce back play from Kristen St. John. You got to have a short memory with football. If you miss the pass, you got to get right back into the huddle and catch your next one. It looks like they will give him the first down here.
Yeah, you just got to keep on moving up on to the next play. Can't just keep on thinking about the last thing. That's something that could lose your football game if you just keep on holding on to what happened the play before.
Pistol formation. 2 receivers on each side for Carson Bell. Quick strike for the junior quarterback, looking outside for Tylen Thrine. Miscommunication with the receiver was not there. Did not meet where the ball was going, I should say. So now a 2nd and long after the incompletion from Carson Bell. This offense slings it. They've thrown 57 passes this year. The Arabians, they aren't close to that. 23 for the Arabians. A lot of incompletions for this team, but that's just their football.
Yeah, like you said, he's been having trouble with his completion percentage, but, when you have someone like Luke Sherrill in the backfield that you can go to, you can go to either that quick game or just to hand it off and pound the rock.
Pistol trips to the right. Time in the pocket to throw. He finds Thrine upfield. Cuts in and out. Makes a defender fall to the ground. Thrine gets up to about the 47-yard line. And that's a guy who you got to look to. Thrine, I think he's the best player on this team on either side of the ball. So you got to keep going to him. Some players you can't keep off the field, and that's Tylen Thrine. They haven't really looked to him much this game. I guess he had the miscue on the punt turned touchdown. 14-0, 9 minutes to go here. It's a handoff up the middle. Sherrill yet again rolling downfield. It'll be 2nd down, 4-yard gain, we'll say.
Yeah, they're definitely going to keep going to Sherrill for those first, maybe 2nd and medium yard plays. And, looks like the past couple plays, they've been able to slow them down a little bit. Let's see if Arabian defense can keep it going.
Yeah, Luke Sherrill only had 7 carries last week. He's got a lot more than that today. He's getting a lot of workload tonight on the ground. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers on each side. They pound it north-south with Sherrill yet again. This one's going to be stopped by the Arabian D-line. Looked like someone slammed to the ground late there. Luke Sherrill meeting a wall of the Arabian D-line.
That's what we're talking about. You got to slow them down. Looks like they're doing it, and now they've got a 3rd and 8 coming up. I'm assuming you go to the pass game right here. They've had a couple good quick pass plays this drive. If they can keep on thrashing the defense over the middle.
The Arabians saw little success stopping Sherrill early, and I think slowly as this game gone off, each drive has had a little bit more and more success stopping Sherrill in this offense. They're figuring them out. Shotgun formation, trips to the right side. Pocket collapsing for Carson Bell. A high-pointed pass upfield out of the range of Darren Reynolds. It's going to set up 4th and 7. Do they go for it? Oh, penalty marker in the backfield. We'll see what the call is. Did you see anything in the backfield, Connor?
I didn't know. It looked like he was, trying to get the ball out fast, and he did throw it downfield. It looked like Reynolds was trying to adjust, thinking that Bell was going to be on the run, and then Bell, they just weren't on the same page. Bell threw it deep, thinking that's where Reynolds was going. Reynolds, though, he looked like he was about to maybe go over the middle of the field and try to readjust with Bell. Just didn't work out.
Newcastle stepping back further. It'll be a holding call on the offense. That's what I would have predicted based on where the penalty was spotted. But this is an odd choice from Coach Richmond. You could decline it. It's 4th and 7. Maybe they go for it, maybe they don't. They haven't had success on special teams, I'll say that. He accepts it. So now we're looking at 3rd and 16, I'd say. Would you accept that penalty? I mean, tough situation there.
Yeah. I mean, may have been looking, maybe they'd be thinking to go for it with where they are in the game right now. Just didn't want to take the chance.
3rd and 17. Stepping back in the backfield. Offensive line collapse. He had DJ McCrary in his face. Carson Bell throws it to the ground in frustration. I think they're getting under the skin of Newcastle a little bit. It's 4th and 17 now. Coach Richmond's call on the penalty worked.
Yeah, I mean, looked like he was confident in his defense making the play, and just almost immediately Bell felt the pressure and just had to get rid of it almost immediately. He really had no time to find a receiver.
7:32 remaining here in this half. Arabians up 14-zip. 4th and 17. Thrine and the punt team are back. Remember, high snap last time turned into a touchdown. We'll see if the Arabians can have success. This one high again. High arcing, and it fell into the hands of Thrine, but no issues here for the special teams crew. That one a little scary. When it's high arcing like that and slow to fall in the hands of Thrine, there's threat for that to be blocked. They got off easy.
Yeah, you had a couple of Ravens flying in there. It looked like it was about to get blocked. Just got it off. That's good composure by Thrine, though, able to just get it off and still get, pretty good yardage off of it.
14-zip, 7:20 to go here. Pendleton Heights in the Arabian offense set to take over now on their own 26-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for Brant Gray. Shotgun formation, trips to the right. Way off sides is Malachi Hernandez. And there's small penalties yet again. That's making this team struggle to come back from a 14-point deficit.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, these small mistakes all game have been cost them. You've had the high snaps on, not just on offense, you also had the one on special teams that then resulted in the Arabian touchdown, and that's the only thing that's really been holding him back, like going back to the first drive with the penalties.
Now for the Arabians. Looks like pistol formation, trips to the right. They're going to hand it off to Weaver going north-south. Going to be wrapped up after a short gain. So the 1st and 5 after the penalty turns into a 2nd and 4. 14-zip, 7:05 left to play here in the second quarter.
Second, very manageable here. You could go with really anything. You can go with the quick game, which has worked with Cooper Sims over the middle. Brant Gray, I feel like I haven't seen him take it himself that much. I think I've seen one carry by him so far.
That is true. Important to mention he likes it on the ground, and really they've pounded the rock tonight. Shotgun formation. Quick heave. This one. Ooh, tough pass there. Looked for Lowenbeal. Lowenbeal's got the most receptions out of any Arabian offensive player this year. And a rare miscue from him as it hits his hands and he drops it. I'm sure that one's going to be talked about after the game Saturday. You're going to have a short memory if you're Lowenbeal, but a rare miscue from the junior receiver results in a 3rd and short.
Going for the screen pass right there. It looked like he was gonna have a lot of room. He had blockers with him, just unable to pull it in.
I love the call. It's worked countless times this year. He's just not able to grasp it. Shotgun formation. Brant Gray, play action, look to throw, lets it rip for his receiver, hauled in by Lowenbeal. There's that short memory, cutting upfield for a big 15-yard gain. And just like that, the Arabians move the chains on 3rd down. They don't let the pressure overwhelm them, and now on the 50-yard line, this team has a drive going.
I mean, good on Beal, able to bounce right back, had the drop, and then one play later gets a good chunk gain of, looked like about 15 yards, I think. Able to get the 1st down, and, like you said, that short memory, that's really what's going to help this offense.
Pistol formation, one receiver on each side. The running back in the backfield, Weaver. They'll pound it with him. Scratch that. Brant Gray will bounce it outside. You mentioned not seeing a lot of him tonight. He'll pick up a short gain, maybe 2 yards at most, 2nd and long. I like the play call. You haven't seen a lot of him. Might as well try to get him going on the ground. Doesn't work out for him here. The linebackers read it there. Looked like Darren Reynolds.
Yeah, good quick read there by Reynolds. Able to get him by the ankle, it looked like, just good low tackle, able to bring him down. That could have, Gray could have gone free for maybe even 5-6 yards.
Brent Gray is the perfect piece for an option look. And we'll see how that is here. It looks like they'll do that again. Here's Joel Weaver trying to angle it outside. He's going to be wrapped up for a big hit here. Not a TFL. I wanted to say TFL because he didn't gain much. I think a yard. We've got 3rd and 8. The Arabians are dealing with some adversity. They have to throw the ball here.
Yeah, Weaver tried the, like you said, bounce outside. He looked like he was about to break off one tackle. Newcastle defender able to hold on and bring him down. And now, like you said, it looks like they're going to have to throw it here. It could go to Sims or Mitchum on the outside.
The receivers set, 2 on each side. Gray has time in the pocket. Pump fake. He steps up on his legs. Got room to work. He's got the first down and a little bit more. Brant Gray, junior quarterback, doesn't have a lot of varsity time, and it doesn't seem to matter. A smart play from QB1 has a first down and 10 for the Arabian offense.
Seemed like he was looking over the middle. He might have been looking for number 2, Danley, over the middle. I haven't seen him get in often. He was looking for him. He saw that, the pocket open up in the middle, saw the open space, and decided to take it, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, that's great from Brant Gray. I mean, perfect you see. You don't want to throw a sketchy pass downfield. Awesome, smart play. So he picks it up by his legs. Pre-snap penalty. Looks like it's on the Arabian offense. That'll push him back 5, a rare miscue. I haven't seen a penalty like that since week 1. It'll be a false start. Kemper Owens in the offense. 14-0 here. 4 minutes, 23 seconds left to go. Arabians on the Trojan 38-yard line. You got to start pushing the urgency just a little bit with this offense. You don't want to leave points on the board and go into halftime. Shotgun formation. They'll fake the handoff, an option look. And the play will be waved dead yet again. 2 in a row. So there's miscues. Another false start back-to-back for the Arabians. Coach Richmond shaking his head on the sideline. Not very characteristic of this team.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've seen good O-line play from this team especially last week in Gearin Catholic, and haven't really seen many miscues this game, but just there, back-to-back plays had false starts.
Now to 1st and 20. This is the longest they've ever had to go for a first down this season. Split backfield, 1 receiver on each side. We'll see what they do. They give it to Talon Foster, who bounces it outside, counters inside, cutting up the gut. Short gain will give them probably about 5 yards. Not really a short gain, but now you're looking at 2nd and 15. You want to go on the ground again, but at some point you're going to have to look to the air.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look to your running backs again, even if they get a good chunk, I mean, maybe even 5 yards, you'll still be looking at a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10. So, they got to be wondering what they will go with here on this 2nd and 15.
Shotgun formation, trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Brant Gray rolling outside, delivers off Allums, flips this one to Lowenville, trying to cut upfield for a tackle. Defender's going to shrug him down. Another chip pickup for the Arabians sets them up 3rd and 11. It's a good gain, can't complain about it, but not when we're in a 1st and 20 situation that's now turned into a 3rd and 11.
Yeah, those short passes. I mean, it's been working just right now, the situation they're in. You're looking at 3rd and 11. Not the spot you want to be in, but we know Gray, even with his legs, could push it downfield. He could throw it, could run it for the first down, so still looking to what they could call right here.
Week 1, he hit Mitchum on a 56-yard shot. We'll see what he does here. Now in the pocket, heaves this one for his receiver. Near the first down, almost picked off. Wow, Newcastle battling back here late in the 2nd quarter. Knocked down by the secondary. They'll rule it Carson Bain, who has the defended pass. Smart play if Gray put a little spin on that a little bit, made it a little quicker, he could have got it there in time, but just a little too hesitant, sat back. Good play by Carson Bain.
Yeah, he had Voorhees right there by the first down marker, was probably able to fall for it right there on the sideline. Just, like you said, good play by the defense, able to get there and knock it down in time.
Joel Weaver will roll out to punt, send this one out of bounds, so the Trojan offense will be set to take over. 2-minute drill, 2:08 on the clock. We'll see what they do here. Only struggled as of late, and the 2-minute drill isn't really where you would look to the run game.
No, I don't think. You've had Luke Sherrill in the run game. That's been the biggest part. But, with the 2-minute drill, the short games definitely worked for them. They could look to the sidelines right here. But they definitely need it right here. You don't want to go into the half down 2 scores. So right here is a big chance for them to go into the half with a little momentum, then coming out of going into the second half and,
they've had a lot of short pass looks. Christian St. John has caught a few of those. But other than that, that's about the only thing you've got going for you. A reason why to give me to believe that you can get this done here. Trips on the left side, pocket collapsing. D. Hyde and company bringing Bell to the ground. A sack by the Arabian defense. D. Hyden had limited snaps coming into this game, but he gets his first varsity sack here against Newcastle with 1:50 to go in the second quarter.
Looks like Bell had just had no room to work with. You saw the pocket collapsing on all sides, could not escape, nowhere but backwards, and then, a bunch D. Hyden there to wrap him up and for a big loss.
Pretty exciting for the D. Hyden and the defensive line. They've got depth there this season, and it's finally showing. Pistol formation, 2 receivers on each side. Quick heave for Carson Bell. Hits his receiver going upfield. It's Christian St. John again. A big hit to the body. He's going to get back to where the original line of scrimmage was. Call it 3rd and 9. Obviously, the big sack sets him way deep back. So now took a 2nd and 16. Took a 2nd and 16 to a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, those big plays by the Arabian defense. You've had a high snap by the offense earlier, and that set them up for a punt after having a 3rd and long. So this D-line can keep putting pressure on them here with, only 40 seconds left in the half. This could end well for the Arabian defense.
A pre-snap penalty yet again. This one has not been a scratch that. Looks like a timeout will be called. We are going to take a quick break. This one on Newcastle, 14-0 Arabians lead. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
WEEM.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you here to John Broughton Field. 14-0 the score. 37 seconds to play before we go into the halftime break. Arabians in a nice spot for themselves. The Trojans really dug a hole for themselves. Whether it was pre-snap penalties or recently they let up a big sack. D. Hyden and company got one over on Carson Bell. They've put themselves in bad field position. We're looking at 3rd and 9 on their own 27-yard line. Shotgun formation. There'll be a handoff up the middle. This one to Tylen Thrine, Not gaining a yard. Kyle York on the sideline, fired up. And another timeout is going to be called. We'll keep talking here. What do you do if you're Newcastle? Obviously, let's look to the second half, okay? Just a little bit here. It's 4th and long, 27 seconds. The Arabians are so close. Even in punting range, they could throw a few out routes and maybe kick a field goal.
Yeah, looking here, like you said, only 27 seconds left. They got to look up to going in the second half. They've got to clean up their mistakes. That's the number one thing. I'm sure their coach is going to be on them about that. And that's going to be a big, decider in what happens in the second half. If they keep up the mistakes, Ravens might run away with this one. But when they haven't had those small mistakes with the penalties, high snaps, I mean, the offense has looked pretty good. They've been able to hit the quick throws over the middle. So if we can see them just fix those up, it could become a good game.
It's the small things that lose you a football game, and that's been the case so far. Coming out of the timeout, we'll see what they run. They have to punt it here. I mean, if they don't, that gives the Arabians the opportunity to get a turnover on downs, and that would put them 10 yards out from the red zone. 4th and 8. Carson Bell in the set. We'll see if he drops back to punt. That's been the case in similar situations. That looks to be the call. Multiple punts we've had bad snaps. This one looks normal. Bell's punt up and away. Lands at the 50. Rolls all the way now to the 40. 42. 38 is where it will land for Carson Bell and company. 17 seconds for the Arabian offense to work. Probably a handoff up the middle. Send this one into halftime, and the Arabians have themselves up 14 in a nice situation.
Yeah, I mean, just run up the middle here, run out the clock, go into the half, a 14-0 lead. I mean, I'm definitely feeling good about themselves right now, so just finish this half with, mistake-free.
It's PJFL night here at John Broughton Field. A lot of parents as well as PJFL students, athletes in attendance. They'll come out in a formation to just kneel the clock out. That'll keep it running, and it'll be enough. Play clock starts at 25, so they'll send this one to the locker room as Pendleton Heights is up 14-0 at the halftime break. I'm Zion Palmieri, joined here alongside Connor Weflin. It's been quite the game so far. Stay tuned. Logan Romine got the chance to sit down with someone for today's halftime interview, so stay tuned for that. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7. Touchdown Arabians. First down Arabians. Breaks a tackle, breaks another. There's space ahead of him. Flags fly everywhere. This place hates it. And it's going to be Arabian football.
Some see a student athlete working on his shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
91.7 WEEM. This is the Arabian Sports Network halftime show. I'm Logan Romine, and I'm joined by
Mr. Trevor Martin.
Absolutely. So,
all right.
Kick things off. What's your new position here?
Yes, I'm the new WEEM Assistant Marketing Manager here at Pendleton Heights and with WEEM. And I am a WEEM alumni, class of 2021. So it's nice to be back in the fold and back with you guys, helping out the station. And it's nice to be able to be back at the high school.
Absolutely. So what does your job entail here at the station?
Yes, my job is to secure underwriters for the station, of course. So making sure, actually today I'm actually going to go out and do that. It's something I, go out to the local businesses in Pendleton, Anderson, surrounding communities, just trying to talk about how important and impactful the station is. And it has been for over 50 years. So that's kind of something I definitely preach to the businesses I go to. And usually we have, amazing sponsors we have had. And my goal is to kind of expand that because the budget increases. And my job, is to continue with that and get the dollars to come towards WEEM and what you guys do. And so that's my day-to-day job, is connecting with businesses through phone, email, whatever form that may present itself, and in person as well too. So
absolutely. Yeah. And you said you were a WEEM alumni. So do you use any what you learned formerly here at your job now?
I do, because I think it's definitely something I talk about. I was more on the sports side. I was like Zion Palmieri, our sports director. I was a sports director here for 2 years. So I was definitely more on that side of things, but I would, again, hear all of our underwriters. We had sponsorship for this Arabian Sports Network when I was here. So I think that's definitely something that I mention and talk about, is just how impactful, what they do is obviously throughout all the whole, population of the students that are part of WEAM, but I think especially when it comes to this and everything as well too. So definitely using that to my advantage and kind of, knowing the community a little bit, knowing some of the business owners here in Pendleton definitely helps me out, because I was, went here from second grade all the way through senior year. So definitely a place that means a lot to me. So it's definitely something that, I enjoy doing, and I'm glad that I'm back here as the assistant manager now for the station. That was so impactful for me for my 4 years here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Do you have any strategies that you like to use to either secure underwriters or help students out in the station?
Yeah, I think my biggest thing, I'm even kind of learning from you guys, with the kind of new setups, obviously this, nice, camera equipment that we didn't have here when I was here. So I know you guys kind of helped me out in that sense. But yeah, I would say the biggest strategies is just kind of, again, using that, kind of hometown feel, and like being able to say, hey, when you listen to WEAM, you're here because it's kind of like a mutual partnership. Like they're promoting themselves, through our station, but we're kind of, that mutual partnership there. So, the different banks and doctor's offices and dentist offices, just the ways that we can connect with the community is always impactful. And so I think that's something that I've kind of learned as I've started here, throughout my first couple of weeks here, and excited for the rest of the school year for sure. But I'm definitely, try to use that to my advantage, just the, being from here and knowing a lot of people and trying to use those connections, whether I, knew if they had a kid who graduated from Pendleton, kind of, making that connection, or, maybe they know my mom who graduated here in 1985. So just knowing the different people that, come through Pendleton, it's obviously a kind of a small knit, tight knit community. So using that to my advantage for sure to secure those underwriters.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you looking forward to anything like sports wise to this year, and seeing how the sports department progresses, especially the Arabian Sports Network itself?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm excited. I think the team of people we have together, obviously Zion, Liam Davis, Max. I don't want to leave anybody out. I think Emma Todd's going to join us as well for some things. Connor Weflin, Colton Bailey. I know those are the people on the staff. So just excited for what they can do. I think the content they produce, I think, the coaches show every Saturday morning throughout the fall, and then translating that to winter. I think, it's something I always took pride in when I was here interviewing coaches, being able to adapt to those kind of things. So definitely excited to see the progression of that. Of course, all departments, since I'm kind of working hand in hand, with you guys throughout the day, but excited to see what sports does, because that's kind of our outreach, in the community, every Friday night for football games and basketball games as well too. So just excited to kind of see what this year holds, I think, across all departments, but of course with sports specifically, just kind of seeing how that outreach is and how the broadcast will sound. But I know there's a, with the live stream, the camera operator, there's a lot more to it than even when I was here. So excited to see just everyone getting together, having those 6, 7, 8 students that are part of the process to make a broadcast run is always fun to see, and good to see, all the students involved. And so excited to see what this year holds for everyone.
Yeah, 100%. So I know you already talked a little bit about what you were excited for, but do you have anything specific that you're looking forward to as we go through this year here at the station?
I think the biggest thing for me, homecoming is always a big deal here. So I think that's something I know we'll obviously get to that, in future interviews, I'm sure, with homecoming week. But I think it'll be kind of fun to see it on this side, obviously being at Pendleton Heights for my, 10, 12 years of school, obviously. And so to be able to kind of see it from the, teacher perspective now, and to be back as a faculty member, I think will be kind of something interesting, just to kind of be part of that, atmosphere through, the dress up days throughout the week and something. So that's probably one week that I kind of have circled on the calendar, and excited for that week of, September, I guess it's 8th or 9th, and then continuing on to that Friday night game. So that's probably the, first off, in this fall semester for sure, something that I'm looking forward to is homecoming for sure. Cause that's always a big deal here, and excited to see everyone come out in the parade and the game, of course, kind of culminating that weekend. So it'll be fun to see that for sure.
Absolutely. I'm also excited for homecoming. Really looking forward to seeing how everyone dresses up this year. It's always a great time.
Definitely.
But unfortunately, that does about wrap up the time that we have here. Once again, this was the ASN Coaches Halftime Show. I was Logan Romine, and I was joined by
Trevor Martin.
Thank you for coming out.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Mr. Whitehair, the server's down.
Same for me too, man. It's just not working.
It says we need a password. Do you know it? Because otherwise we can't do any work.
Try password.
Nope.
Okay, try 000
Nothing.
All right, now try 00001.
We're not trying every number.
Hey, does anyone know when the password was set up?
Like 5 years ago.
Avengers Endgame stuff? I don't know, I was just trying to think of stuff that happened around that time.
Why don't we just call the IT guy who set it up?
Moving backwards, every IT guy we've ever had has been glasses guy, cough drop breath, bad hair number 3, really short guy, bad hair number 2, and really tall guy, bad hair number 1. I believe cough drop breath is the one who installed it. Try, No, I remember it made me laugh when I heard it, but Layla thought it was stupid.
Try poopy pants.
You're actually trying poopy pants.
I'm trying everything.
Try poopy pants with a Z.
That's the password we're in.
The important thing, you guys, is this. It's what's kept us secure.
At first, just leaving the house was hard.
But Wounded Warrior Project helps you realize it's possible to get out there.
To feel a sense of camaraderie again.
To find the tools to live life better.
Through generous community support, we've connected warriors and their families with no-cost physical and mental health services, legislative advocacy, career assistance, and life skill training for 20 years. And we're just getting started.
Hi, my name is Layla Reed.
Hi, I'm Zion Palmieri, and we're a part of 91.7 WEEM.
91.7 WEEM first aired on November 1st, 1971. Since then, our station has been student-run, teaching the students of Pendleton Heights the skills necessary to be successful broadcasters.
I've been involved in radio since my freshman year of high school, and that's when I really found my passion. During this time, I've served as the social media director and the operations manager, which has helped me better my skills and get more prepared for my future. Without this program, I would have never known that media is my true passion and what I want to do in life.
In my junior year of high school, I was promoted to be the WEEM sports director. While my other peers were figuring out what they wanted to do post-high school, I had already known my profession was going to be in sports media.
Our students' continued success would not be possible without the support of our underwriters.
With the backing of our dedicated underwriters, students in the WEEM program gain a significant advantage over others as they join the workforce.
Media and technology are constantly evolving, and our students need to evolve with them. Tools like computers, broadcasting equipment, and on-air gear help keep our studio fresh, thanks to the support of our amazing underwriters.
I'm really proud of what our students have accomplished and what they will continue to accomplish. We've placed in a number of categories for the Indiana Association of Student Broadcasters. To place, you need the tools necessary, and we get those tools from our underwriters.
Ready to become an underwriter today? Contact Luke Watson, our 91.7 WEEM Marketing Director at lwatson@smcsc.com or at 260-417-5802 for more information.
Thank you for watching. Your support as an underwriter can empower our students and keep their voices alive. Join us in making a difference because every voice matters. Become an underwriter today.
Touchdown Arabians. First down Arabians. Breaks a tackle, breaks another. There's space ahead of him. Flags fly everywhere. This place hates it. And it's going to be Arabian football. Our halftime show, 91.7 WEEM.
it seems like it's been a lot of just a big defense battle for both sides.
Radio station. Whatever you need, we've got it. From sports to podcasts to weather and more, we have everything you're looking for. It's all here on 91.7 WEEM.
Thank you for listening to the Arabian Sports Network's halftime show. Now here's second half action on 91.7 WEEM.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you back here on the Arabian Sports Network. They extended the halftime clock out a little bit, but no worries. We're in no rush here. We talked about both teams their first half, what they need to do the second half. I think for the Arabians, they haven't really done anything crazy to win this football game. They've just capitalized on mistakes and made the adjustments they need to. And for the Trojans, why they're down 14, well, they're making these mistakes and they're not making adjustments. I feel like from what we've seen so far, you just reinforce some things that me as a Pendletonite student already picked up on. We're a very good program, and we have a lot of great coaches at the helm. And this is why this team is so disciplined. This is why they know, keep your head on a swivel when there's a punt in the end zone and, you are in the potential for a safety. Just lay on it at that point. You don't want a guy to fall on it and get a touchdown for the other team. But Tylen Thrine wasn't in that situation and didn't fall on the ball, and now the Arabians get 7 off of his mistake. Small things like that are the reason why this Yorktown team is down, and, they've only got 24 minutes to recover.
Yeah, I mean, that just falling on that, you would have been only down 9. Not really sure what he was thinking, but penalties have really been the big story for them. They've stalled a lot of these offensive drives. Even one of their first drives, they were getting it going near midfield. Penalty killed the drive and just had to punt it only a few plays later. So mistakes like that is what I'm sure their coach was talking to them about in the locker room during the half. We'll see if they make the adjustments required to go out and compete.
For the Arabians, pretty nice first half. Definitely uncharacteristic. I've talked a lot about, not me specifically, Coach Richmond's talked a lot about the jump from week 1 to week 2. Week 1, a very scrappy team, putting it together. They did enough to win that game. Perfect, fine. Week 2, they were levels above their opponent, who was a 3A school, but, they beat up on 5A McCutcheon. Week 3 is a little different here. Not to say they've regressed, but they have showed some strong things and then some things that are like, this Week 2 team didn't show any of that. And maybe it's opponent. Maybe they're playing a 4A team now. But things have surprised me. Brant Gray has been shut down. Or they're just not really looking to him, maybe. He hasn't ran it nearly as much as he has last time. And the few times he's had success. Maybe they need to lean into that. What do you think, Connor?
From the few plays I watched, it looks like definitely Newcastle has kept an eye on Brant Gray when it comes to his rushing game. You've seen the linebackers make good reads on him to the outside. But most of the time when you do get the Gray, he makes a play. We even saw it just, when the pocket was collapsing and he decided to take up the middle, then he was able to get big yardage. So he can use it on his legs. It looks like just those design runs haven't really gone as well as they have. But when it comes to improvising and extending the play and the field, he's done a great job of that.
Now Dylan Johns set to resume this one. Kicks it back for the Yorktown Tigers, who muff the kick return initially. Cutting upfield, now inside the numbers, breaking away, holding at the 5, taken to the 25. Wild return, keeping us on our toes. Darren Reynolds, they'll credit it to. This team, in reference to the Trojans, they're a little bit of an older team, junior, seniors, and they're still making a lot of mistakes that you would expect from first-time varsity athletes.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's been a coaching issue. I mean, can't recall this being one of the biggest issues that we've ran into for them when they've played us in the past. But like you said, juniors and seniors, and I mean that's the main reason they're down 2 scores. I mean I'm pretty sure that's in the front of their mind right now coming into the second half.
Carson Bell in the offense, down 14 on the field. Pistol formation. It's a handoff upfield. This one to Luke Sherrill yet again, 1 yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9. They'll call it 8. Still down 14, 11:34 to go.
Yeah, looks like they're going to keep on giving it to Sherrill. He hasn't been as effective as he was last week in the big one over Jay County, but he's had those big chunk plays. It looks like the Raven defense has just been able to slow him down as the game has progressed.
Shotgun formation now. 2 receivers on each side. Carson Bell steps back to pass. Scratch that. It'll be a handoff inside up the gut. Took a second to hand that one off. Sherrill was pretty deep. Yet again, Sherrill showing no signs of slowing down. He's not gaining very much. He averaged 2.6 in the first half. And that's not going to win you a football game on the ground. I mean, now we're looking at 3rd and 6.
Yeah, it looks like they might have to go to their, short passing game again. It worked. It definitely worked a few times last half. They had good gains over the middle. Also had a couple drops. We'll see what they do here, though, on 3rd down.
3rd and 6. On their own 31. High pass for Carson Bell, looking for Darren Reynolds. Aeromailed it over his head into the sidelines. Had no chance of catching that one. Sets up a 4th and 6 for Carson Bell and company. Do you punt it? You're in your own territory, and you've struggled on special teams. Tough situation. This team has had a really rough night on the offensive side of the ball.
Looks like, with Bell, what they've done so far, having him back up and punt it himself, they could maybe try and utilize that, maybe make him trick the Arabian defense and making him think it's another punt and then throwing it.
Both offenses the Newcastle offense getting set. Bell stepping back to punt this one away. A normal snap. Kick this one high. Landed at the 40, gets a nice bounce over the 30, rolling to the 20, going inside toward the 15. What a punt for Carson Bell.
Looks like the best punt that he's had all night. I mean, got a really good bounce on it. Looks like it landed near the 35, I want to say, and rolled all the way down to the 15.
14-0 here as the Arabian offense takes over. 10 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10. What were their strengths and weaknesses in the first half? For Brant Gray, usually a strength is on the ground. They didn't really lean into it too much. I'm trying to think, Joel Weaver didn't have the greatest first half. Also didn't have a necessarily bad one, I would say. Pistol formation. 2 receivers on each side. It's a handoff to Weaver. 2 yard gain. We'll set up 2nd and 8. Chopped down from the knees.
Yeah, like you said, Weaver not having his best half of football, but again, what you said, I mean, it has been bad. 4.4 yards a carry. That's some good yards that you might be looking for on first and maybe even 2nd down sometimes. So he's still being very effective for this Arabian offense.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers on the right, 1 to the left. Brant Gray receiving the call from coach. They'll hand it off up the middle to Weaver. Going up the gut, countering outside. Had to cut on a dime to get any yards on that one. Was able to scrape up a few. I think they'll call it 4. So now that sets up 3rd and 4 on the 16-yard line. The Arabians with a test. 9 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. After a 4-yard gain, you could look to the ground again. I wouldn't hate the call. I wouldn't expect to play. I mean, I kind of would expect to play action, maybe look to Lowen Beal or Cooper Sims outside the numbers. Not an amazing set for my prediction there. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers on the left. Looked like an option look, a handoff inside. Talon Foster. Chance Brant Gray might have taken one. Nonetheless, it's waved down dead. The Arabians call a timeout before the snap. I think there was a miscommunication between Coach Frazier and Brant Gray, the play caller. Odd situation there. The Arabians, they're never afraid to use a timeout. Tough spot right there. 14 zip, they're down. Or excuse, 14 zip, Arabians up.
Yeah, definitely not afraid to use a timeout. I mean, like you mentioned, first quarter alone, they had already used 2 of their timeouts for the half. You know, it makes you wondering why Coach Richmond might want to use them that early. Right there, it looked like it was due to miscommunication, but the first one already of the half.
3rd and 4. This is a big play for the Arabians here. Will the drive continue? Arabians have won the past 9 straight against Newcastle. 14 matchups all time, tonight being the 15th. An option look, handoff to Talon Foster up the middle, taking defenders with them. Talon Foster gets the first down and a little bit more. Looked like a wrecking ball. He was carrying 2 defenders on him for the first down.
Looked like a couple of defenders had some arms wrapped around them, looked like it was only going to be a gain of maybe a couple and be a little short. He just kept it going and got a big gain out of it and the first down.
Foster in the backfield, shotgun formation, 2 receivers on each side. It's a play action look, a quick pass for Brant Gray, way over the head of C.J. Mitchum. He's going to set up 2nd and 10. I don't hate the call, 1st and 10. Throw the ball to a star like C.J. Mitchum, but doesn't work out here.
Seemed like he was trying to get out quick right there. It looked like he was about to throw it almost right off the get-go. Didn't like what he saw, rolled out a little bit, and then had CJ on the sideline right there, just overthrown a little bit.
Brant Gray looks really frustrated right now. As a quarterback, you got to calm down. He's not been in too many situations like this. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers on each side. It's a handoff up the middle. Countering outside, tries a spin move. It's Talon Foster who's brought down a big TFL by Nate Joplin and Logan Mendoza of the Trojan D-line.
This is definitely something Newcastle defense needs. You can't let this Arabian offense keep going because, if you let them get that move down the field, score again, 3-score game, this is a hole you don't want to be in.
3rd and 10, who do you look to?
I might be looking towards CJ on the outside right here.
Shotgun. There's a pass outside the numbers, hauled in by Cooper Sims, tiptoeing the sideline. Not going to be there for the first down. He lays out, trying to grab it. So we're setting up about a 4th and 5. Arabian offense will come out of the game facing the most adversity they have all season.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like it's been their best football. I mean, the 2-0 team we've seen has definitely been a little bit more consistent, definitely more competent when it comes to play, but nonetheless, they're up 2 touchdowns, so not a whole lot you can complain about.
Weaver back to punt. A nice punt for him here as it hits the 20. Punted that one away from his own 30. Hits the 20, rolling at the 5 inside. Pinned on the 3-yard line. Joel Weaver, best punt of the season. Flips the field with that one. Arabians lead 14-0. And it was the offense getting spotted in a situation like this that led to 7 for the Arabians, now in a similar spot. Can they live through the pressure in their own end zone?
Yeah, if you're the Trojans, you want to avoid another mistake. Like you said, a high snap last time. Even before that, they weren't quite as pushed back as they are now, but led to another high snap. So they've had trouble, being pinned back deep in their own territory. Let's see if they've fixed it up this half.
Split backfield for Carson Bell. It'll be a handoff outside. Luke Sherrill brought to the ground instantly. Interesting play. Sherrill typically bulldozes it up the middle. They try it on the outside, and it does not work out big time. 2nd and 10.
No, it seems like as the game's gone on, like you said earlier, I mean, even starting from as early as late in the first quarter, the Raven defense has been able to slow them down a bit, and now they're holding them to only at most probably a few yards of carry.
On their own 3-yard line. It's pistol formation. Trips to the left. One receiver to the right. It'll be a play action. Quick heave for his receiver, Tylen Thrine. The ball too low. Thrine lays out for it. Not going to be able to get a glove on it. Now we're looking at 3rd and 11 after the incompletion.
Looked like Thrine had a curl route over the middle there. It was a little bit behind him. He had to kind of turn his hips, quite a bit. Just was not able to get there in time for the quick throw. 5 yards, just didn't have enough time to react.
Not been the night for Carson Bell. We'll have a look around the conference right now. Greenfield Central taking on Mount Vernon. Marauders lead 7-6 at halftime. Little update. Empty backfield. 5 wide as Carson Bell takes the high snap and takes a big hit. Hits his receiver going upfield. Tylen Thrine gets the first down and saves the Trojans from being in desperation.
Looked like the ball may have been tipped. I couldn't really see it. It looked like it was about to get picked off by an Arabian. I really couldn't tell where the ball was going right there. But, Bell under pressure, able to get it out. That's just a good look from him, behind, like you said earlier. You wonder how he sees over his O-line sometimes. And right there, he's able to make a beautiful play and get them out of their own end zone.
And that's why I think Tylen Thrine's the best player on this team. A glue guy who helps get his team out of sticky situations like that. Now this pass underneath. It's going to be hauled in. Blown up by multiple Arabians on the tackle. That one, Darren Reynolds with the grab. Continuing to look along the conference, Mount Vernon playing Yorktown tonight. They lead at halftime 28-0. Look at Delta. Keep going on here. We have Shelbyville tonight. At halftime, they lead 10-0 over the Golden Bears. And that's around the conference. Now pistol formation for Carson Bell. Low snap. They get it up cleanly and get it to Sherrill. Sherrill on the 2nd down run. No gain at that. We're looking at 3rd and 5 now. Hayden Forsha blew that one up. 14-10 Arabians. Finally stifling this offense on this drive. Tylen Thrine's been the only thing they haven't been able to stop.
Yeah, it looked early on like, they've been going back to the running back Luke Sherrill most of the time, and Raven defense has been able to stop him. Now they've been going to Thrine over the middle of the field, and it's been working. I'd say keep on, slicing the defense over the middle.
Shotgun, trips to the left, one receiver to the right, pocket collapsing, pass way ahead of Christian St. John, not going to be able to haul it in. Perfectly read by the safety, Grant Ellis. He had the chance to lay a big hit on St. John or maybe make a play on the ball. He read the ball on St. John cleanly as it was just a little bit too high. John wasn't going to be able to haul it in. So he saves himself a collision and leaves himself out of the play. Now we're looking at 4th and 4 for this Trojan offense.
Ellis came flying in there. I really thought he was about to lay the big hit. Honestly, maybe a little lucky the ball was a little overthrown. I was expecting a big hit there on the sideline.
Seen multiple of those this season, typically from Talon Foster. 4th and 4. Carson Bell looks like he'll punt this one. Last one, he had a great punt. This one might have been tipped. Does not go far. Into the hands of Grant Ellis, who takes it upfield. Defenders in front of him. Special teams. Grant Ellis.
Looked like Kiesling got in there and almost blocked it. I think he even got a hand on it, and that's what led to going a little short and Ellis picking it up and taking for a big chunk gain there on the return.
The Ravens are pretty conservative when it comes to special teams. They don't do anything too out there, too crazy. But I love that play from Grant Ellis. It kind of just fell into his lap, and he looked in front of him, and he had an open lane if you cut to the right. And he just said, why not, and took it.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely saw all that open space to the right. You know, he saw how much space he had between him and the next defender and took it and made a good play out of it.
Now for Brant Gray in the offense. It's pistol formation. They'll hand it off straight ahead. It's Joel Weaver. Short gain, if that. 2nd and 10.
Going up the gut right there. Multiple Newcastle defenders met him at the line there. Looks like there wasn't much of a gain right there.
This Arabian offense hasn't had quite this visual success as other nights, in scores and, flashy yards and touchdowns. They're meeting a lot of adversity, but I think they're battling through it pretty well. I mean, that's a tough play. Weaver's been shut out like that very few times this season. Shotgun formation again. They'll look to throw this one over the middle, hauled in by Cooper Sims, shrugging defenders with him. Scratch that. Rylan Kiesling, the tight end.
Gray looked to his left immediately for Kiesling, and he saw him go out to him for the quick pass and a good gain off of it. Looked like he had both his receivers blocking and then just had Kiesling on the read.
Kiesling's very good as an outside linebacker, and I love that they brought him to the offense as a tight end. He complements this offense very well. Shotgun formation, trips to the right, one receiver to the left. It'll be an option look, handoff up the middle. Joel Weaver yet again. 3-yard gain. Needed only a single yard for the first down. And just like that, the Arabians move the chains just a few. Scratch that. They'll be in the red zone with that one there. Just like that. The Arabians looking pretty unstoppable.
Yeah, I have a good opportunity here to go up, 3 touchdowns. This is a chance that you can really just start putting Newcastle in a tough position, maybe back them in the corner and force some mistakes on them.
Split backfield. Colton Johnson will get the option look. Ending around to Cooper Sims, cutting it upfield. Luke Graham blocking upfield. Touchdown, Cooper Sims, his 2nd of the night, ending around. Thursday, they tried that on practice, and it was a head-scratcher. I looked for it before the game. Really didn't expect them to use it tonight, and they do. Ending around, Cooper Sims uses Luke Graham to his advantage and punches it in for 6.
Faked the handoff. Looked like it was going up the middle. Maybe even Gray take it himself. Found Sims. Newcastle defense was in shambles right there. No defenders on the right side there to stop him, and he walked it right in for 6.
Now to punch it 7. It's Dylan John. Hasn't missed one tonight. The Arabians lead 21-zip. 2:38 to go here in the third quarter. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
WEEM.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you here back on the Arabian Sports Network. 21-0, a little trickery in the playbook, and the Arabians show how deep their bag is. It works out here as Cooper Sims gets his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, I mean, we said earlier, coaching has been the big story. Mostly when it comes to mistakes, on the Newcastle offense side, they've had, even with their juniors and seniors, a lot of mistakes with flags, high snaps. Not only is Pendleton showing their strong coaching with their discipline, now they're, going deep into their playbook, finding the trick plays, and that one, they're able to run it in for 6.
Dylan Johns will send this one off. Surely a touchback as it will roll, his first of the season. So, Newcastle set to take it over. Important to mention, I'm pretty sure how the Arabians do it is like first 2 weeks, maybe I believe, is, they get down the fundamentals, they get down the offense, they can win a football game with their playbook. And then I believe this 3rd week they begin to open it up a little bit more and start to throw in some fun stuff like that. I hope we see more of that. That was beautifully executed.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you've got to think they have more in their bag when it comes to, some more matchups going in the conference play right now, but it looks like maybe they're even just scratching the surface, but, going in the conference play, wanting a strong start and that's exactly what they needed.
If you're a play caller, that's got to be a bold move. I mean, you kiss the red zone, and then you try that, and it works out almost a 20-yard gain. It's a bold call, and that worked out in your favor. Now Carson Bell and company, pistol formation. They look to throw. Pocket collapsing. A big ball upfield for his receiver. Darren Reynolds can't haul it in. He juggles the ball, and he's going to regret that one later.
May have been a little overthrown. He got hands on it, had to dive out for it, but unable to pull it in.
I never played football, but I always heard, if you can get a hand on it, you can haul it in.
Yeah, definitely 100%.
And that one's a tough one. There was a little bit too much on it, but still in the arms of Darren Reynolds, and he's going to be thinking about that for a few plays. He's had a tough night tonight, but now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Pistol formation again for Carson Bell. They try Sherrill, bounce it outside. He's going to be leveled, brought to the ground. Big hit from the Arabian defense, who's really brought the physicality as we've gotten later into this game.
Yeah, and even getting later in the game, they've been able to stop Sherrill, who early on was picking up about, I'd say, 5-6 yards of carry. I mean, he was looking unstoppable early on like he was last week, who last week against Jay County averaged about 15.7 yards of carry. And this Arabian defense has been holding them to only really a couple yards maybe per carry this half so far.
Pistol formation. 2 receivers to the left. Tight end on the wing. Moving off his back foot. Pummeled in the backfield. A big sack. Is that Jacob McKinley? Yes, it is. Carson Bell instantly off the back foot, off the snap. Shot out of a cannon is Jacob McKinley for his 2nd sack of the year.
Bell rolling out to his right. Looked like he saw the pressure coming from McKinley. Trying to extend the play. Really didn't even have time to get rid of it. McKinley caught up to him, got him by the legs for a big loss. And now they got 4th and 17 coming up.
McKinley had a sack against North Central, Newcastle in sectionals. And it was the same exact scenario. Just absolutely bull rushed through his guy and was able to get to Carson Bell before he had time to look for a receiver. Shotgun formation. Flag. Play wave dead. 21-0, minute left to go here in the 3rd quarter. 4th and 17 now. Push him back. Even further now.
Penalties have been the story for why this Newcastle offense hasn't been able to get going. And it looks like, even going in the second half, that continues to be the main issue on this offense.
And now on a 4th and 17, you're backed up, or now 4th and 22, you're on the 8-yard line, and you got to punt from your own end zone. That is a difficult task. We'll see if Carson Bell can do it here. As he'll get this one off cleanly. It won't go too far. Hit at the 35-yard line, roll to about the 44 is what they'll lay it at. A decent punt for him, but Arabians start with the ball in Trojan territory.
Yeah, that was definitely a dangerous play right there. I mean, like you said, backed up, punting from their own end zone. You've already had quite a few close calls with blocks. Kiesling came flying in. You've had high snaps, and one of them being almost in that same spot, and that one resulted in an Arabian touchdown. So, good on Bell, able to get that one off, kept his composure the whole time.
1st and 10, 38 seconds. For the Arabians in the 3rd quarter, in no rush here. I'm sure they pound the rock and, put this one on the back burner. Calm down a little bit. Weaver, the running back in the backfield. They try shotgun. They cut it up the middle. Not going down initially. It looked like he fell, I guess. Tripped up on his own. He pops up and then finally tackled. A nice gain for Weaver. I think they'll call it 7. 2nd and short.
Took a big hit there after gaining about 4 yards and then just kept on going, shook it off, and gained an extra few.
Joel Weaver's very good at being smart going upfield, reading his blocks, figuring out where to go, and I think that's why, I believe he tripped up there and then was able to bounce back up before he was brought down. Smart play from Joel Weaver, and just like that, that'll end the 3rd quarter. The Arabians are up big, 21-0 here. So the thing we thought of 2 straight quarters, the Arabians Don't let up a point. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Not knowing what the future looks like, facing this opponent, and right now Arabian's looking to do that. And Trojan, you're thinking they're probably going to get a little bit, aggressive here. I mean, obviously they're going to want to get aggressive here. Only 1 quarter left, down 3 scores. We'll see what they come up with.
2nd and 3, shotgun formation on the Trojan 41-yard line. It's Joel Weaver, ground and pound up the gut yet again. This one will be enough for the first down. The Arabians move the chains, and the stampede continues.
If you're the Ravens right now, I mean, like I said, up 3 scores right now, you're going to want to pound the rock, calm down a little bit. Definitely get this clock going down, and you're still in a good spot, I mean, the ground and pound has been working all day long, so keep it going.
11:43 and counting as the Arabians up 3 touchdowns. Shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Gray with ample time to throw, lays this one high in the air for his tight end, hauled in just shy of the end zone. Will he be there? Lowenbiel, first and goal. Looked like Sam Barron initially. Lowenbiel with a larger build, but he cuts upfield, goes outside the numbers, goes up and gets a 50-50 ball, and just like that, the Arabians are in the red zone, specifically the 2-yard line, and look to punch this one in on the ground, likely.
Looked like they had a deep safety back there watching Beal. Great, got the ball out, though, and then, even a little underthrown. Still plenty of time before the safety got there for Lone to jump up, get it, and, almost bring it over the goal line.
I think he was hoping he had a touchdown there, just a yard or 2 short. If he falls the right direction, he might get it. Ravens taking their time on the play call here. They've got plenty. Play clock at 33. 21-0 here. Pendleton Heights with room to breathe, especially after play like that. That takes the wind out of this offense, or out of the defense for Newcastle. And then they got to flip the field, get back on offense, and, try to have a fresh mindset, try to put some points on the board.
Yeah, they're definitely going to come out desperate here on offense, assuming the Ravens can't punch us in. They have 1st and goal at the 2 right now.
In the backfield, Joel Weaver, it's shotgun formation. They hand it off to Weaver, ground and pound, using his offensive line, smashing through contact. That's a Joel Weaver touchdown.
Used his O-line, looked like he had both Carter Marlin and Kemper Owens just pushing right behind him, and it was basically just a walk-in for him from there.
One of the strengths of the Arabians is their offensive line. They play and do it great. A lot of seniority there with guys like Luke Graham and Carter Marling. Dylan John stays true on the night. Extra point is clear. 28-0 to score here with 10:51 to play. Arabians lead big, and John Broughton Field currently. We are going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports WEEM.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you here on the Arabian Sports Network. My name's Zion Palmieri, joined here alongside my co-host Connor Weflin. Arabians up 28-0, 10:51 to play here. Dylan Johns to kick this one away. Last time we saw a touchback. The Arabians on offense, they put themselves in good field position. And a big catch from Lowen Beal set them up on the goal line. Joel Weaver punched it in. That was the story of the drive.
Yeah, I mean, right there, it looks like they were going to be a little bit conservative going into that. Then they took the deep shot, like you said, too low and almost got it in, then just punched it with Joel Weaver. That's got to feel like a gut punch to Newcastle.
Tylen Thrine taking this one up. A nice return. Takes it from about the 10-yard line to almost the 35.
Took it straight up the middle right there. It looked like he almost could have gotten free using that speed the entire time. Just unable to find the big opening and take it all the way.
Now, like we mentioned for this defense, after a big drive from Pendleton Heights and flashy plays that gets the crowd going, it's 28-0. You've got 10 minutes to work for your offense, and you have no points to show. You don't want to go home with an egg on the board. Is a tough moment for the offense, who's probably deflated right now. And a quick pass over the middle, hauled in by Tylen Thrine, pinballing off of defenders, who'll go down after the 11-yard grab. Will set up 1st and 10 for the Trojan offense.
Thrine, doing really good in the short passing game right now, or in the short receiving game as of now, catching it for about 5 yards, bouncing out defenders, going for the first down. That's what you're looking for if you want to get this offense going.
Pistol formation, trips to the right. The snap low, Carson Bell recovers, gives it to Sherrill. Sherrill up the gut, bulldozing defenders, punishing that front seven. We'll get a first down, maybe close. They'll give them it. Yes, 1st and 10. I said this offense probably is going to be a little deflated, a little difficult to, get a good drive going after this, but they had 2 straight first downs, and they show no signs of stopping. It's another quick pass here. This one open field for Tylen Thrine, who got a big hit initially, but shrugged it off, spun away, and 6-yard grab.
I mean, that's just really good yards after the catch from Thrine. That's what we've been seeing from him really this entire game. I mean, he's really been a big part going into the second half. They've gone to him more than pounding the rock, and it's been working.
Thrine won state in wrestling his junior year. Pendleton Heights going to take a timeout after that. 3 straight plays with a big gain for Newcastle, and not surprised by that. Give this defensive a second. Recuperate and come back out there. We are going to take a quick break. The score, 28-0, 9:40 to play here. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
7 WEEM.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you here. Back on the Arabian Sports Network, 28-0 the score. Arabians up big on defense now. Newcastle's got a nice drive going. On the Arabian 39-yard line, we saw 2 10-plus yard plays and then a 6-yard run up the middle by Luke Sherrill. Coach Richmond called a timeout. You got to give this defense a little bit of a breather. Carson Bell, 2nd and 4. Low snap. They look for pass, going outside. Hits his receiver, Darren Reynolds, brought down. Important to mention, wasn't able to get out. Stayed in field. That keeps the clock winding.
Yeah, I mean, right now down 4 scores. They're definitely looking to, just not have a 0 on the board by the end of the game. That's what they're looking for. But, you also don't want that clock running. And right now they have 3 first downs on 4 plays. It's looking good for them.
All right, now pistol formation, trips to the left, one receiver to the right. They fake the handoff. It's play action, pocket collapsing, throwing it away last second, almost picked off.
Talon Foster saw it. I believe that was Talon Foster. Saw it flying out of bounds, reached with one hand, unable to pull it in, able to stop this Newcastle offense at the moment.
Looked a little frustrated. Wasn't able to pick that off. Would have been pretty impressive, a toe drag play, but nonetheless, it's an incompletion, which is good for the Arabians. Kind of halts the drive a little bit, but also you want to keep the clock running. So, little push and pull there. 28-0 Arabians lead. 9:18. Clock stopped actively. Pistol formation. Trips to the left. One receiver to the right. Play action. Bell steps up to pass. Almost into the hands of Talon Foster again.
Looked like Bell felt the pressure coming immediately, kind of used that footwork, wiggled out of it, and threw it downfield on the seam. And like you said, looked like it went into Foster's hands, just unable to bring it in.
Really testing Darren Reynolds today, who's been on Talon Foster. And, I mean, he's had multiple deep shots, and really he's been locked up from the second half and on. And a penalty on the play is going to push him back even further. We're looking at 2nd and 15 now, obviously. Would be 3rd down, but that's wiped away with the penalty. 2nd and 15. He's really testing Darren Reynolds. That's 2 straight times incompletion, and they go back to Darren Reynolds.
Yeah, I mean, now you got 3rd and long, and this is definitely a drive that you want to get some points out of here, getting late into the game.
Shotgun formation. It's a play action play to Christian St. John, blown up immediately. It's Ryland Kiesling. Tackle for no gain or a loss. He was right there, read it perfectly, had his zone, and let St. John have it.
Yeah, read that perfectly. Came in at perfect timing. Unable to do anything after he caught the ball. Just got met at the line immediately.
Now for the Arabian defense. Before the timeout, they looked rough. Newcastle had many big chunk plays that got them where they are now to the 38-yard line. Since then, they've held pretty stiff. It's 3rd and long. Empty backfield, 5 wide for Carson Bell. Steps back to pass, pocket collapsing, high 50-50 ball for Darren Reynolds into the hands of Stephon Winters, who can't haul it in. Nonetheless, an incompletion forces 4th and long.
Winters flipped his hips, was also running with the receiver at full speed. It looked like it was going to be a basket catch for him, unable to bring it in. But like you said, nonetheless, 4th and long, and you have to imagine Newcastle's going to go for this.
Like you said, basket catch was the perfect term. It was going to fall, drop in the bucket, really. He just couldn't corral it in. And I think that's a smart play. Maybe you let it go because, that would set you up in your own territory. As Newcastle will have to punt this away on their own 38-yard line. It'll bounce. Land at the 10-yard line, bounce to the 5. You could think about a field goal there. Owen Barrett, his longest in his career was against Pendleton Heights in sectionals, 33-yard field goal. That one would have been 48. Little out of range for a guy like Owen Barrett.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, honestly, with 8 minutes left, I mean, you got to think, like, coming out of that drive, that they were looking strong early. Like, looked like they had 2 straight first downs. Had a run on the ground, then they had a pass for about 10 yards, and then just for it to end like that due to penalties, drops, near interceptions, and now Ravens have the ball set up inside the 5.
Shotgun formation, trips to the right. Brant Gray, the quarterback, handed off inside to Joel Weaver. Shakes off a defender. He's got some free space ahead of him. Had a little bit of light before a rough tackle drags him to the ground. It's Tylen Thran yet again. That's a wrestler. It's a blanket. When he tries to tackle you, throw you to the ground with no hesitation. Keeps the clock running. 8 minutes and 3 seconds left to go here as the Arabians lead 28-0.
Run game has been working for the Ravens constantly. You have Brant Gray, who can also use his wheels. And right now, when you're trying to run clock, that's just the perfect thing. That's just what you want right now.
Play action. Gray rolls out, tries to get it on his legs. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. The smart play to not take a big hit. Gets in the face of some Newcastle defenders, and flags fly. This team wants to rally for their quarterback. That, I think he was calmly going out, and then it kind of like shoved him a little bit on the shoulders. We'll see what the call is.
To me, looked like Gray got hit a little bit late, and he didn't like what he got, so he looked like he exchanged a few words, and then from there, Newcastle player came flying in, and then, just got a little ugly from there.
From what I saw, it looked like the Arabians did a good job of not retaliating. They kind of like swarmed around, but no one really did much. I'd be curious to see what the refs say. I would expect an unsportsmanlike conduct on Newcastle. And that's what it'll be. Personal foul. And that's a good call there. That looks smart. Looks like he saw him push him last second. And the Arabians did a good job of staying poised and not retaliating. As a coach, you'd love to see your guys fight for your teammate, but you don't want a penalty. And the Arabians don't make the mistake here.
Yeah, of course. That's definitely one of the things they do well. Brent Gray obviously didn't like what he got right there and was unhappy, but then you just have a Newcastle player come flying in and shove him immediately. That's just, in front of the ref, that's just not what you want to be doing right here in the stage of the game.
Let the other team make that mistake. That's what the Arabians did and worked out. Pistol formation, trips to the left. Stretch play, handoff outside, Joel Weaver. Using his blockers ahead of him. Gets 10, first down and more. I say using his tackles ahead of him because that's what he did. He's smart. He doesn't make any big sudden movements. He just goes in and around them. Use it to his advantage. The farther you can get away from that defense, the more yards you're going to have in front of you.
Yeah, that one right there. He looked smooth the entire time, was just staying with his blockers. Then once he finds an opening by his blockers, he takes it and, keeps on getting more and more yards.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers on each side. Weaver will take it up again. Has a little bit of daylight. Medium gain, not too big, not too small. It'll be second down.
Continuing to just run down the clock with that rushing game, and it's been working. You have Brent Gray using his wheels. You have Joel Weaver, using his blockers, getting yardage in big chunks. It looked like he had about 10 on the play before the last. So it's going good.
I don't think they'll be able to eat away 6.5 minutes. But the show get pretty close. Now here's an option look. Brant Gray rolling out to the right side. Going to try to get some on his legs. Making sure to stay in field so they keep the clock running. What did you see here? Hearing some oohs and ahs from the crowd.
Looked like they had a whistle. Looked like they had the play blown dead while Gray was still running outside, and then it looked like Newcastle defender hit Brent Gray, lower near his legs, and I guess most people just didn't like that, assuming the play was blown dead.
That's, I think, the latest I've ever seen a play get blown dead. Very abnormal.
Came flying in there. Even looks like maybe a few people on the sidelines immediately got on and were, calling for a penalty, maybe for a late hit.
Coach Richmond's talking about it with the referee right now. It's just the lateness. Maybe there's a flag, maybe there's an interruption, whatever it was. Just calling dead 3 seconds after the snap. 2nd and 4. Arabians up big. They're going to hand it off to Weaver up the gut. Multiple defenders jumping on his back will bring him to the ground. Not before he gets 10. Moves the change, keeps the drive going, clock winding as we speak.
Definitely eating up a lot of clock. Like you said, not going to be able to chew up all 6 minutes on this drive, but, if you can, take up as much of that as you can, and then just really, Trojans running out of time to really make any big plays to try and turn this game around.
This kind of football is a chess match. Who can wind out the clock the best and play smart? Here's Joel Weaver. Weaver takes it ahead, bulldozes a defender into the ground, gets 10 and moves the chains yet again. You think this defense is, trying to give him a yard or two, extend it, get back on offense?
Yeah, it looks, definitely you're wanting he had so much open space. Definitely seems like Newcastle is just wanting to get this ball back, get some points on the board, get something to hang your heads high about a little bit, but right there had so much open space to work with right off the handoff, and he took it for a big gain.
Pistol formation, trips to the left. Every time we've seen this, it's been a Joel Weaver handoff up the middle, and that's what it'll be again. Wedged down by, it looks like, Tylen Thrine. Yet again, it's that wrestler. Just pins you to the ground. It's a blanket.
Had two defenders coming in hot on either side on the outside, took it up the middle, and immediately met Thrine at the line and unable to go through him.
We're going to take a quick break for station identification. You're listening to 91.7 WEEM.
Broadcasting from the WEEM studio.
Ravens marched down all the way down, but right now, here in the red zone, this is where you want to make a stand. 4 minutes left in the game. I mean, you need to get the ball back right now if you're Newcastle.
.359 and counting, 28-0. Arabians up big. 3rd and 6 here. Arabians do their best work in the red zone. They hand it to McCrary, who's initially almost brought down. He punches it through. Took a second. Wasn't pretty. Didn't matter. There's DJ McCrary for the touchdown.
DJ had 6 carries coming today through week 1 and 2 for 48 yards before today, and now he's got his first touchdown on the year.
Slow, methodical drive, winded the clock, capped off with a DJ McCrary touchdown. The offense hitting its stride of the night very late.
Yeah, I mean, started off very slow. Looked like Newcastle was trying to set the tone early, and then ever since, those early mistakes by Newcastle, this Raven offense has been in rhythm the whole time.
All right, well, with that score and the extra point, we're up 35-0. It means the clock will continue running. And we are also going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Ad Council.
Now back to Pendleton Heights football on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
91.7 WEEM. We welcome you here to the Arabian Sports Network. 35-zip. The Arabians lead. Lead by 35 means the clock will continue running constantly. It's a running clock. Because the score is up by a big margin, here's Dylan Johns to kick this one off for the Arabians. Set to receive it, Darren Reynolds. Not going to touch this one, as it will almost be a touchback. It lands on the 1, doesn't roll in. It's going to be waved a touchback. Controversial one here. You kind of heard some yelps after that one.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it had the perfect bounce, rolled near the 1, took a bounce straight up in the air. Still waved the touchback, though, unfortunately.
Now the Trojan offense setting up shop on the 20. 1st and 10. Had a nice drive going for themselves as they got into Arabian territory the last time. Was shut down after a stand by the Arabians. They look to Darren Reynolds almost every time. And Talon Foster and Grant Ellis, the safety, they blanketed him.
Yeah, he's been effective all game long, and right now, for Newcastle, just under 3 minutes, they have to get something going right here.
Handoff up the middle. Sherrill mauled to the ground by the Arabian D-line. Starting to see some younger Arabians come in as they, share the love a little bit, get some young incorporation in here.
And those young Ravens still able to hold their own. Looked like looked like he was trying to go up the middle. Didn't like what he saw. Bounced outside a little, and then just met a stampede of Arabians right there.
2 minutes and counting. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Carson Bell. Or handed off to Sherrill. Never mind. Play action. Faked. Picked off. Going the other direction. It's Lincoln DeShong for a touchdown. Pick 6 Arabians.
Read that perfectly. Had his eyes. Was looking at the quarterback's eyes the whole time. Read it perfectly. Picked it off. No defenders in sight. Took it for the easy pick 6 to the house.
They got a sophomore DB in the game because they're up 35-zip. He jumps a pass, takes it for 6. Lincoln DeShong. Some of his first varsity minutes, might I add. He probably had a few snaps again against Guerin Catholic last week. But in his first, I'd say 30 varsity plays, and he's got a pick 6 for himself. 41-zip, the Arabians lead. Wow. I mean, what a cherry on top of the already great game the Arabians have had.
Yeah, clock's running right now. Up 41-0 at the moment. Really looking like it's going to be the Trojans going to be held to 0 points. And, I mean, it's worth noting in 2023, 2022, you've had shutouts over the Trojans. Maybe it's looking like it's going to happen again for the 3rd time in 4 years. That'd be a really good way to end off any future matchups with the Trojans, expecting, not knowing what the future is looking like with them leaving the Hoosier Heritage Conference. So this could be a good way for the Ravens to end their games against them.
Sad turn of events. I think the pick 6 got called back. 35-0. It's the score. The Arabians have it on the 30-yard line, and in victory formation, they'll kneel it. Kind of a sad way to end that one. I really don't know the call there because the offense is on the field. Mm-hmm. Everyone was kind of caught up in the moment, so we really couldn't tell. But just like that, the Arabians sit at 3-0, 3 straight wins. This one over their first Hoosier Heritage opponent. Can't say that one for very long. 35-0. And that one will wrap it up for play here. Stay tuned for the post-game show. The score, again, 35-0.